Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the breakdown at Old Talk United. Usually on Sundays, we just have Old Talk United, but we just played a match this morning, finished 0-0. So you know what? We figure let's combine the two together right now. With me in the panel, I have got Courtney, I've got Arun, and I've got the man himself, the ref, Mr. Darren. Probably the man most in demand right now. Gentlemen, what are you doing right now?
Ref, I just let you know your colleagues in England on a word that I cannot use in this podcast.
Well, I mean, here. I talked to them just now and I'm waiting for the official email. You understand? So I wouldn't see things out of context now for my comrades in England.
All right. Fair enough. Because I see some decisions in the last week or so that I want to know, boy. Like,
Yeah. I mean, they say, the kind of get, it's are certain things that they want to run back in the classroom sessions and learn from it.
Listen to me. They bring in they brought in somebody in just either just before or just after the World Cup to help them with this problem. Now, if I'm being fair, they have gotten better at it. But at the same time, too, it's like 1 week this rule applies, the next week we take it off. What really going on? Devin, I don't mean to hijack your show, but
yeah, I was gonna say I will hand over the reins to you. You can host.
No, I had to ask him, boy, because I don't understand.
I'll do this for you. Can host the show.
David, no, but I'm not all serious. All kicks aside, there has to be some sort of consistency.
Yes.
Well, you kind of jump right now into what one of our topics was going to be later on in the show. We'll get to it later on. But first and foremost, we do have to cover. There was a match today. It finished 0-0, and we have to go over that right now. Right. So Manchester United play bottom of the league right now, Southampton. Match finished 0-0. There were chances from both teams today. We have to be fair. There was a red card, which I mean, yeah, I've been looking at it. I do think it was a booking, but kind of highlighting where there was another decision in another match today, which should have been a red, but which was not booked at all the same weekend. It's kind of like, where is the consistency which you were getting at? But we will focus on that afterwards. Right now, we will outline the match as a whole today. Gentlemen, what were your thoughts today on the match? I'll start with Arun first.
Hi, afternoon, everyone. I thought that after we went down to 10 men, I knew it was going to be a hard game after that. I think we managed the game well to get some good opportunities to win the game, but I knew that fighting Southampton with 10 men would have been a hard fight. We were lucky that they had some good opportunities as well to take it away from us, but we were lucky that De Gea was in good form, as well as they hit the post a couple times. So I always wonder when Ward-Prowse stands up to take a free kick, why De Gea allows so much space on the left-hand side of him. But, because the ball always seems to be curling around the wall and coming into the left. So, but I think we were lucky this time for none of those balls to go in the back of the net. It was a hard-fought point. I think we deserved a point at the end of it. But, to me, it's 2 points dropped in the race to top four.
Yeah, I can see that point. And coming in late as always, as a typical Trinity would right now, we have the man himself, Robert.
How you doing?
Not bad. I see you're on that Island People time right now too.
Of course, as always.
Yes. So, Robert, what was your thoughts on the match as a whole today?
It was very sad. It was a little bit it was a frustration game. The calls didn't go our way. The game just kind of got away from us. I think the games are catching up to the players. I believe that this game every 3 days really and truly is catching up to Rashford and Bruno, and you could see all the players are tired. You could see it now. You could, because even today you saw that they were a half step behind to every ball, to every challenge. It was just, you could see the games really taking a toll. But then at the same time, we should have won today. We should have won, but it is what it is, so we move on. Next game.
Courtney.
We were lucky. And there's an old saying that if you can't be good, you have to be lucky. We were lucky. Southampton definitely had the better chances. With a more potent finisher, I think we could have been down even before the unfortunate red card. That challenge, I think it's a bookable offense, but I've looked at the replay and his studs were up, so I can't really fault the ref for it. Now let's be real, and people are saying that you started the review as saying that the Southampton are at the bottom of the league, but let's be fair, the bottom down there is a dogfight. I think it's 5 or 6 points that separate the team that is 14th to the team that is 20th. So we know that all those teams at the bottom there are going to be coming to venues for looking for points, regardless of what form they're in. Because at the end of the day, they have I think it's 8 or 9 games again for the rest of the season, if memory serves correct.
8.
So people looking to secure their spot for next season.
I think it's a little bit more than that now. I think it's probably, I think some teams have played 24, some teams have played 25, some teams played 26, some teams played 27. So you got a little bit more to go as well.
Well, depending on where you are, you might have, like you say, for argument's sake, 10 games to secure your place, to reach to that lofty 40-point mark that is usually safe. So yeah, they're gonna make it hard for us, regardless of what. I agree with Robert. We do look a little bit fatigued. I'm not sure what Ten Hag is going to do with the upcoming fixture list, because right now Martial is still injured, Sabitzer is injured. We don't know what's going on with Garnacho after today's game. Casemiro is out, at least in the Premier League. Who else is injured? Boy, somebody else is injured. Well, Ericsson is injured. Donny is not playing for the rest of the season. And I don't think, outside of Garnacho and Pelistri, none of the other youth players have shown enough to earn a spot in the match day squad.
Good afternoon. So I want to go to the comments right now. Good afternoon to Martin Phillip, always one of the first to comment, as always. Good afternoon to Mark Lewis. We're saying, why do they review in slow motion? The game does not play in slow motion because every tackle will look dangerous in slow motion. And good afternoon to Shavana, who is saying, yes, fatigue is setting in. I do want to go to the ref right now. Before we get into the calls right now, Darren, what was your opinion of the match today?
We made poor choices. And I think at this stage, with this team, we should not be making those poor choices, because it is very well documented that when we score first, it's practically a walk in the park, practically. So our attacking players need to not burden themselves. Like, I have to score, rather than I have to make the scoreline 1-0. Because there was a chance that Rashford took in a very tight angle when he could have squared for Weghorst. Was in acres of space on the 6-yard line. And Weghorst was like, yo, just pass the ball, not every time would be on you. So rather than focus on getting the scoreline going, I think men trying to be like, I need to score, I need to score, I need to start it. And at this stage of the season, you shouldn't be thinking like that. You have more to play for, you have bigger games to play. So rather than get multiple scores on the sheet, which would make defenders think, wait, but I don't know who going to be attacking. Rashford is taking the load of the goal scoring goal scoring execution. So obviously people would focus on Rashford. And Rashford ain't go pass so easy. So men can let Berghaus run and everybody else run. But I think had we taken the lead earlier, a lot of things would have changed. We would not have got another red card because he could have seen the midfield fighting for the ball, trying to get us going forward. And that's where the bookable offense took place. Outside of that, we didn't look like we had 10 men on the field, to be quite honest. We didn't look like we had 10 men. I mean, Southampton is no slouch, but we held our own. And some might view it as 2 points drop, but I would view it as a point game because if you can't win the match, don't lose the match. So yeah, so it's like all right, okay, on to the next one. Think differently, team. Think differently. That's what I ask you.
So, gentlemen, right now, based with everything we said right now, who will be your player of the match? I said player of the match, not man of the match, for a reason. Who will be your player of the match today? Open question.
Sandro Martinez.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say De Gea because he kept us in the game because the opportunity Southampton had could have sink us.
No, but is when they had the breakaway and Wan-Bissaka stopped running.
Yeah.
And Martinez chased him down. Right? And at least did enough for De Gea to catch up and and make himself big for the save.
All right. I see where you're going.
So I would say I'll Martinez. Yeah, because I think the man did a lot in the game.
I think, to be fair to Wan-Bissaka, Robert, I think he just ran out of gas. I think he had nothing else in the tank. He couldn't run no more because he was operating on both sides of the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, but you see, it was his pass. It was his pass that that caused you foolishness. So my thing is, right? At least don't stop running. Run. But man stopped running. He stopped. And it was like, come on, man, you can't just give up.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think De Gea kept us in the game as well. But I think the player of the match to me was probably Shaw. He was doing it on both defensively and at the front and at the end there he took a crucial yellow card to help secure that point as well.
Yeah, I will have to give it to David De Gea. It was a crucial stop off the header off the set piece. Also, I believe it was the one-on-one, which were very crucial things in the match. I think that we were a little bit slow. I think Wan-Bissaka was a little bit wasteful with his passing today, to say the least. I think we were very unfortunate with going out to the net. We actually played better after that happened, to be very honest. And I just think De Gea would have been match day. So we're between. We've heard shouts for Martinez. We've heard shouts for Shaw. We've heard shouts for De Gea as well too. Yeah, but yeah. Sorry, you're gonna say something?
Pardon? No, I cool.
All right, no problem. Yeah. So, yeah. With that being said, now I do want to get into something right now. Though we do have to cover the red card, and I am so glad right now that we have none other than a FIFA certified ref with us right now, and Mr. Darren.
Whoa. That introduction I don't like. I do not like that introduction.
And let me explain why. We have somebody who is certified, who has gone through the courses, who will know more about the rules than the average person. So he can break down his opinion whether the call was correct or incorrect. I have not strayed anybody anyway on any call. I have not said my bias, anything, or however it is right now. I just want to leave it this way so that everybody know you are certified as a ref. So you understand the rules.
Yes.
You could justify whether it was a correct or incorrect call.
It was incorrect. So, but go ahead.
No. I mean, I want to get everybody opinion on it. So, Robert, you incorrect. Courtney, what you think?
For me, it was the correct call. It was a little
Incorrect.
harsh.
Arun, what do you think?
It was the correct call. It was just a little bit harsh.
Okay, so Robert, incorrect. You saying correct. Devin, what you think?
Looking back at it now, I don't think it was a straight red. I think it was a yellow. I think the original on-field decision was correct.
All right, cool. You think yellow or red?
Yeah, no, I think it was a red. I think
Good.
He wasn't in control. Although
Good.
he played the ball first. He wasn't in control. Studs were up, and he made
Good.
contact with the player. So
Good.
to me, it was a red.
Good. So in the laws of the game under fouls and misconduct, you can be sent off for endangering for play endangerment. All right. Now, a lot of people in all the groups I was in saying, well, he get the ball first. Was he in control of the ball? No. You could touch the ball, and that's all well and good. You're supposed to touch the ball. It's football you're playing. When you see those studs go up, you have to take into consideration what the contact made is not going to endanger the player's safety, the player's well-being. And you never really know when studs are shown. So you go over the ball, probably as a scare tactic for hoping the defender backs off. And it didn't work in this instance. You make contact with the player with your studs first, and the angle of contact you also have to look at. Now, where did he hit the player? Somewhere over his ankle in the shin area. Stud shown on a downward angle. That is player endangerment. Now, at first glance at live speed, I could assume the referee was like, well, it's just probably the follow through, and he gets a cautionable, and it's cautionable because it's a reckless challenge. But when you go over the process as VAR's supposed to do, VAR's supposed to go over that process, and then you call a referee, I think you need to check this over and I really feel they get correct. The referee then has a decision to make. The referee has a decision to make in that, am I going to escalate this or leave it as the original on-field decision? In this case, he did. It is a red card offense, Sunday to Sunday and Panday. So everybody else who saying, well, he get the ball first and he get the ball first, that is all well and good. Go to the laws of the game and you will see everything laid out as to what type of tackles are bookable offense, a cautionable offense, or sending off offense. Casemiro, unfortunately, this is not La Liga, where you might get away with that. This is the Prem where things are a bit more scrutinized and things are a bit more technical. That is a red card offense.
Yeah, I mean, so when we look back as well at the season and we remember the tackle, so I saw someone made a point in the comments about Donny, but like even the tackle that took Erickson out for a couple of weeks from Andy. That, I mean, to me that was a straight red, right? But I mean, he did get the red, but he eventually got a second yellow and got a red. But I mean, to me that's a straight red. Even in this game where I mean, like, and the inconsistencies advised that, like, when Kyle Walker-Peters tackled Bruno in the box, he got it after he got Bruno. You know, so to me, it should have been a penalty. But, you know, I don't know if VAR didn't see it that way, but he clearly got Bruno first and then got the ball.
Now, what you're getting into, Arun, is more the consistency of the decision-making process, which would forever be a thing because the laws of the game allows referee to make decisions within their own judgment, within their own leniency level. And VAR is a backup method. VAR is there to support, again, video assistant referee. Because the referee could disregard VAR's suggestion because he's not the man in the middle. The general public, who is more informed now, I must say that, or the general public being more informed now, still has to take into consideration that each referee's tolerance level changes. What I would call a foul may not what Roberto or Arun or whatever would call a foul, but you have VAR to support the on-field decision making. Now, not that every time VAR gets involved, the referee has to take VAR's suggestion, but there's an extra officiating system to get the call right. So when you get in the consistency of refereeing, people need to take into consideration where that if I give something as a yellow card, and then on another game, Courtney lets it right, just gives a normal foul. But in a previous game, referee, the man got a yellow card for that. Rah, 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 rah. My tolerance level is not the same as Courtney's. So you have to treat each game as a case-by-case instance. Firstly, then you get into the consistency of decision making.
I hear you, Ref. I hear you. I can't agree with you.
Okay, no problem.
I understand the concept of we take each game as its individual case.
Yes.
I don't get no argument from me there. But at the same time too, it creates a very bad precedent where we as a refereeing association or a refereeing body don't have a consensus on what and how we doing things.
Okay.
You know, because again, while you are there in the middle of officiating the game, it gives you a very bad look if 1 week I'm being penalized for doing one thing, and the next week, because I get a different referee, I'm not getting penalized for it. It creates an unfair advantage. Well, the perception of an unfair advantage.
Unfair to who?
To the whoever the decision goes against.
No, let me put a pin in that right there. And I'm going to say this on the public airways. No team will get 100% of the calls in their favor. No team.
Agreed. So
a decision will be advantageous to one team and disadvantageous to the other team. That is the nature of it. So Manchester United, not Manchester United, I want to use another team. No one team will get all the calls that benefit them. There's a decision that is not going to benefit that one team at any point within the 90 minutes. So that statement to make, are really not there with you.
All right,
I could understand what you're saying, but I'm not there with you.
All right. And look, we all know that the laws of the game are, I wouldn't say flexible. Flexible wouldn't be the right word.
No, that is not the right. That is correct.
They're subject to interpretation.
Okay, we go in.
So my thing is, at the end of the day, I just want a little more consistency from the refs.
No, again, you cannot want consistency when it benefits you.
No. I want consistency across the league. I'm not talking just for the benefit of Manchester United. If we have to get a call against us, and which is a right call, let it be so.
Right.
You understand? I just want to see the level of refereeing across the league improve to a standard where we don't have the level of controversy that we've been having for the last.
You always get that. You always get that cut. You always get that.
So that
due to the same nature of a call being advantageous to benefiting one team and not benefiting the other, you always get that controversy.
Right. So then you're left to personal viewpoints then.
Your personal, sorry?
Viewpoint. Because
because
they have VAR, right? And VAR is supposed to make it equal across the board.
VAR is not supposed to make it equal. VAR is an extra.
Sorry to interrupt right now. I want to bring up this question towards you, Ref, from Mr. Martin Phillip. He's saying, but it seems as if the rules from time to time are made to be broken. Why are English referees in the minority in FIFA competitions?
That is something FIFA needs to answer, because in the previous World Cup, it was the officiating pool was selected across all what's you were looking for? Confederations, right? Not because the Prem is the most watched league in a FIFA tournament, you will get a lot of referees from the Prem. It don't work so. Okay. In the final, we had a referee from CONCACAF. Look, we know that Wales was in Qatar just recently, but who does watch the Pro League in Trinidad? So, come on. Referee selection is something that the international body needs to educate the public on. It is not just men in a room. I like you or don't like you. You look good. You don't look good. there is a selection process that goes into it. The issue of consistency is very, to me, it's blurred because one, not all the time you'll get it right. Two, not all the time one team would benefit. Three, and this is my personal opinion and during my years, is that as a referee, you want the players on the field to decide the game. You should just be there so that people won't go to jail or dead. You understand? But those 22 players, you all go out there and you all do what you need to do within the laws of the game to win the match. I just here to make sure that nobody dead, nobody go to jail, and everybody who leave the field, who go onto the field, come back off the field. That's what I really there for. With that being said, general public, as much as you can read the laws of the game and watch the clips and have your opinions, until you go out there and hold that whistle in your hand, or hold them flags in your hand, and you have to make a decision that could potentially decide the outcome of a match, you're referee. You're not referee.
So I do want to get into another topic right now that people have been bringing up, the potential for a handball claim in the box right now. Whereas I can't remember who played the ball into the box. The Saints player went down on all fours, and it appeared as if the ball hit somewhere off his chest to his arm type area. It appeared such, and there was claims out there for a handball.
I think it was Rashford.
I do here in the comments right now asking, does VAR get involved for goal scoring opportunities? So why did the penalty claim go unchecked? Personally, me from my take, I want to take a stab at this first, ref, before you. I don't think it was clear and obvious enough for VAR.
That was checked. That was checked. If I remember in the game correctly, they did say it was checked, and VAR didn't find an issue.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think it was enough for the VAR to intervene and say, yeah, you should probably go and take a look at this on the monitor or anything like that. So that to me is how I interpreted that claim. But I can see some people now, of course, some United fans who are upset about it right now, not getting the penalty, especially with the red card, and thinking otherwise right now. I personally don't think that it was enough to be a penalty, but I would just be curious what the rules would say about in a case like that, Darren.
No, not every time a ball strikes a player's arm is a handball. Again, the laws of the game outlines that. Now, in this instance, I was watching, okay, what happened to the player that he ended up on all fours? No, was he tripped? Did he slip? Whatever, but he on the ground. And from the moment he hits the ground, the ball is on him. Did his arm make a deliberate movement towards the ball? As in, he put his arm out to stop the ball from reaching another attacking player, or he just was like, oh shit, the ball reach here and I'm gonna move my hand out the way. No, it could not have been a penalty. I've seen those given, because you have to watch how you have to put yourself in a defender's mind frame there. Like, oh my goodness, this ball is coming to me. If I keep my arm here and it hits me, there's a potential for a penalty. So let me try and get it out the way. Whether I am doing that to deceive the referee or not, I need to not give them the benefit of the doubt. I am still torn over that decision, because I've seen those given, and I would not have been too much bothered if it was given. But being it not given, I was like, probably they get that wrong. But when they do their debrief session and they go in the classroom and everything like that, it's a teachable moment. I would give that call as a referee. I would call that a teachable moment. Had it been given, and they'd be like, okay, referee, well, you do your thing. As a fan, that is handball any day. You understand, referee? As a fan, that is handball. Call the penalty. Make care what VAR say. Go to the spot, point to the spot. You understand us? Call them thing next time. I don't talk with that. But as a referee, it's a teachable moment. It was a teachable moment. I want to get into Martin Phillip. If that had happened outside the box, would have been a free kick.
Ref, don't go on the fence. It would have been a free kick.
I don't know. I don't know, Courtney. I really don't know.
So then,
I really do not know.
Right. So then,
Because,
not a doubt.
Yeah, there is a measure of doubt.
Right. So then the doubt now is removed because it was in the box.
Yes and no.
So then, again, how's that fair? Where is the consistency?
It is not going to be, Robert. It is not going to be beneficial to one team all the time.
No. It have to be the same calls.
Yes, and that's what Martin is alluding to. It wouldn't be the same call in the box or out the box. So again, if that was out the box,
look the
really don't know. Same way as in the box, I really don't know.
The
personally, I really
game, right?
know. Yeah,
the UPD game. The ball hit Martinez's chest, his hand, penalty. Last week, the man trapped the ball. Same Europa League, trapped the ball.
Yes.
Hit his hand, nothing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The same foul today with Casemiro, red card.
Yes.
I have seen the same foul committed by other players.
Yes.
Nothing. Not even a card. Nothing.
Right.
I saw Van Dijk do it. Nothing. I saw someone else do it. Nothing. So my thing again is so it comes across, like it is a witch hunt, So
a witch hunt.
No, yeah. So where is, if it was the same calls getting called for every team, every time, I would be vexed. But the referees in England obviously have biases. They have some referees.
Wow.
No, they do. They have referees in England that have biases.
Wow.
So they will call certain.
Robert, I can tell you right now, every single non-United fan is calling Howard Webb's name right now just because you said that about us and talking about biases.
But
wow.
I'm not talking about my team. I'm talking about the whole league in general, because the fact that all fans complain about the same thing, VAR. All fans complain about referees. Everyone, they're all saying, "Well, look, this one do it here, and this one do it here, and nothing happened." There is no consistency. So, whereas to me, VAR was supposed to make the job of referees a lot more consistent, but it's not. You're still back to the human error.
Yes, you're back to the human error because it's human beings who run in the field, Robert. So wait now, what you mean to tell me? You mean to tell me that this morning, the referee woke up and said, "You know what, babe? I go in and share card today."
No.
Or the VAR team, or the VAR team wake up and say, "You know what? All of a sudden, I go in and play Mario Kart on the people's system." No. No, we don't wake up on mornings and just go to be like, "I don't like how you looking today. The slightest fall you make, card." No.
But
it doesn't work that way, Robert.
Yeah, but
no.
That's the thing that's what is happening. And you are
welcome to your opinion. You are welcome to the interpretation of events. But to go out there and say that referees have a bias, that is a very strong allegation.
And I'm saying it. They
very strong allegation.
Because I have seen other games where it's not even my team, and a foul happens, and in my mind I'm like, but that's a foul, nothing. And in other games, you see the exact same foul happening,
right?
And then there's a card. So then,
because is it the same officials?
It shouldn't be. If the law is the law, the law is the law. Right?
So hear what, Robert, hear what. When you go down the road, ask. When you go down the road and you break the law, whatever law it is, break the law. Would you want the police officer to hit the full brunt of the law?
But he's supposed to.
Right, he's supposed to.
It's the law. Enforce law.
He's supposed to. Follow me here. But when you go lower down the road, or you go on next, say like you go on St. James, and you got ticket on the main road, and 2 months down the road you in Arima, and the same thing you did, the police officer said, "Hey, soldier here, just don't do that the next time." You gonna get vexed with the police officer?
No, I believe.
Okay.
I'll be happy. But what I'm saying,
I rest my
there is
case
no
for that.
consistency.
But thank you.
But you
but
will
that
get back to me because
consistency
I
is
get away.
only applies when it benefits you.
No, I am saying it should not.
But you
benefit
just
the
explained
player.
it. But you just proven my
It's a
theory.
bunch of corruption here.
It is the same law. It is the same law.
Yes,
The same law. But one police officer decided to use the law, execute the full measure of the law.
Right.
Another police officer says, well, okay, here's what. If this could be a teachable moment, here what, so like, could get charged for this, sinner.
Right.
But here what, just go do it again.
Fair enough.
You want to tell a police officer and say, but Solia, I get charged for this last month in St. James, and I think you should give me the
Why would I do that? That's not my
Thank
benefit.
you, because it benefits you. But there is still no consistency in the application of the law.
The player is supposed to change the referee mind. That's why the players just come and bamboozle the referee.
What?
Robert,
Right?
I think you are wrong on
that. I'm sorry.
I think you are wrong for that one, Robert.
You can't tell me it's one. Today the foul has happened, and then tomorrow the same foul happens, and it's a different thing.
I'm saying this in public space. When my next decision, I dare player to come and change my mind.
So wait, I can't come and as the captain or the player involved, I can't come and reason with you.
My decision not making it.
No, but right. But I can come and reason with you. And so
we could talk. We could talk about
it's the same thing.
We could talk and I will hear your opinion.
With the police officer, I can come
right.
Right. Take the same police officer. It's a man from James, right? So the man pulled me over as a man. He watched me. He don't like me good. Card, right? I got a ticket. Now Rima, right? It may be a woman, and I may say, look, yeah, you look nice today, It's okay. I get no card.
It is the same law.
I think a general idea here, like what Courtney was trying to allude at, is like, for example, players think that it's a handball in the box or something like that. Refs says play on. Like, I'll give you case in point in Liverpool's penalty yesterday. From the outside looking in, it seemed as though the ref was going to act like nothing was called. All the players came around, and then namely sparked by the Liverpool captain who came and said something. Then in the referee, I guess it seemed like he was listening with VAR, said, all right, let me go and take a look at the monitor now, and then gave the penalty for the foul. So in that case, it seems as though like the players coming up influenced the official to come over and maybe VAR about it and see that way. Courtney, is that kind of what you were alluding to about a player changing the referee's mind?
Yeah, I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen as a footballer. I've seen it happen as a fan. If you go to the referee, and it's not all refs. And I'm gonna be fair, it's not all refs.
No.
But there are instances where you could reason with a referee within a 5-10 second period, and he will then reevaluate the qualities given.
No problem in it. But the decision already has been made. Whatever the decision is, it has been made. Now you could come and say, well, ref, I don't think that was a corner kick and I think that was a goal kick. The man make it up, whatever, and he could come and we could talk in it. But if after me and you talk, you feel like going to reverse that decision, you're mistaken. You are sadly mistaken.
That might be you.
So ref, in a case like that, like if a player flat out came up to you and said, yeah, you got that call wrong and that she came off me, would you reverse the call then?
No. Because in that now, that shows a measure of favoritism in my decision-making process. Because let's just say after the corner kick, a goal is scored. Now, you would tend to say, well, referee, your bad call, look at goal scored, you understand? But I wouldn't be like, wait, a goal scored and I don't think that was fair. No goal. No. I've made a mistake. That is something that...
So what I'm getting at is like if the team who benefited from it basically comes out and says, yeah, you got that wrong. Like the ball actually came off me. It should be there for my throw.
Right.
Still would not change the call.
The decision I'm going on, you make a mistake, and that goes into another thing that the general public feels the referee must do, and that the referee must balance the scales. No. The referee has to execute the laws of the game to the best of his ability. And it would benefit one team, a decision would benefit one team, and that same decision would not benefit another team. even if the referee make a mistake and the referee is entitled, I wouldn't say is entitled to, but there's leniency for that, for a referee to make a mistake. Now, he doesn't have to go and balance the scale. Because again, let's say a goal score, he doesn't have to go and allow another goal to make it 1-1 and okay, we start back from scratch. No, you make a mistake and you make a mistake.
That's a real dangerous thing, my ref way.
It is, Courtney. It is. And it takes a measure of what's the word? Mental fortitude. Testicular and mental fortitude. Both. Because for you to make a call in the first place, you have to be brave enough to make that call. And then if in the instance that it's a mistake, you have to have the mental strength to block that out and go on, because the game's still going on, the 90 minutes still ticking. So your next call, you have to make sure that it's the correct call. Not you give a call to balance the scales. So it's both mental and testicular fortitude to be out there. No matter if you're in the middle or if you're in the line, if you're at VAR, once you put on that uniform that distinguishes you from the players, you had to be brave.
Fair enough.
Alan, the linesman, sometimes overrule his decision with discussion. Now, this is something is based on what is the infringement. Now, the linesman is there to assist the referee, and if the referee doesn't see something and the linesman picks it up, he has to go over and be like, hey, you have to look at this call. Like, let's say the case in point, Zidane World Cup final. The referee didn't see that. It was the AR who brought it to the referee's attention, the AR and the photo official. Now, let's just say that the whole of the ball crossed the whole of the line and went back out the goal. Put aside goal line technology. If the linesman sees that the whole of the ball crossed the whole of the line of the crossbar in the goal and out, or that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Lampard versus Germany 2010, perfect example.
Thank you very much. Perfect example.
Yes.
If the linesman saw that, he has a duty to then a referee. There's a goal in it. You have to make that. There's a goal, and the referee and the linesman will deliberate, and then a decision is made. Even if the linesman and the referee deliberates, and the referee then makes a decision which is in contradiction to what the linesman advises, a decision has to be made. Not because the linesman and the referee talk, the referee will go with the linesman rationale. A decision has to be made. Who makes the decision? Who's the primary decision maker? The man in the middle. So, Alan, I understand your question. I hope that answers it. Being a referee is a ballsy thing to do in this day and age.
Now, look, I get that the refs have a difficult job, and I totally understand. It's not something that I would like to do, but for me, I hear you with the interpretation. But if it is that we as a body have to say, look, yes, it's open to interpretation, but let's not in the classroom sessions. There has to be some consensus to say, okay, yes, this is a foul.
Yes,
this is a handball.
You are correct with that. In the classroom sessions, when we go over decision-making clips or game scenarios, there is a consensus that is achieved as to what is a handball, what is a foul, what is offside in the game clips. So yes, you are right there. So you understand the principle of what the law is trying to teach. But there is very unlikely you will encounter that same scenario or the same classroom out on the field.
All right, fair enough.
So I do want to get into. Has anybody seen the manager's post-match comments, his post press conference or anything like that?
No, I didn't get a chance to see.
I've only seen Ericsson.
All right, so basically, Ten Hag came out and basically said what a lot of people here are saying. He wants consistent play calling. because he's upset about that call. He said specifically today Casemiro's red card.
Mm-hmm.
He said he brought up the call, well, the no call yesterday with anybody see the Chelsea Leicester match yesterday?
Yeah.
He brought up Pereira's challenge on Felix, which I think was in the first 2 minutes of the match,
Mm-hmm.
where he was up. It was nowhere near the ball. It was not even a booking, and he basically was like, "Why is there nothing for that? But this one is a red card right now." He brought up Casemiro's original red card, where he said if they had looked at it consistently, there should have been 3 or 4% off.
Mm-hmm.
So based on I gave you a very quick, too long, get it reversion of the press conference. Do you believe Ten Hag is right in his comments post-match? Open question. Actually, you know what? I will go with Arun. We haven't heard Arun for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he's right. Like I said, the consistency of the calls is the biggest concern. I think we could have had a penalty in the game. Several penalties. I mean, the Belakocha handball, that could have gone either way. The tackle at the end where Rashford, the keeper, came sliding in, and the commentators were saying Rashford dived. I mean, everywhere. I mean, I clearly saw the keeper caught the end of his foot running, and Rashford went down. Now I understand it. Maybe the ball was past him, but there were 3 different specific instances where we could have had a penalty, and we didn't get any. And then we had calls go against us. So I thought personally the only call VAR got more or less correct was the Casemiro call, but everything else was sketchy.
Courtney?
No, Ten Hag is right. And if it was Ten Hag alone complaining about it, then I would say that he needs to put on some big boy pants. But all the managers at various points in the season have complained. They have said that VAR has not been consistent, and they need to do something about it. It has gotten better, but we still a long way to go. And ref, I would say this.
Yeah.
VAR in its current form is being compared to cricket's VAR, basketball VAR, and all the other times where, and I think they've been using video analysis for years. This is not new to them. So because we're now playing catch up, the fans who are accustomed to watching sports and seeing video assistant refereeing in action is saying, look, you all have all these templates. Granted, it may not be the same sport, but you all should be learning and evolving and growing, and I don't think it's happening at the pace that people want it to happen.
All right.
Ref, I was gonna wait for you. I was gonna say
let me formulate a response to this. So Robert, let me hear what you have to say.
I think Eric is right. Because again, my problem has always been be consistent. Because to me, VAR was made to take away the human element of it. Make it a lot more, robotic. Well, I mean, for me, VAR was supposed to, yes, you have referees there, yes, but the VAR again was supposed to assist referees to again these kind of calls where is it a foul, it's not a foul. So VAR is supposed to come and say yes or no. There should be no, in my mind, there should be no bigger room. It's either foul yes, foul no, and the referee should not have. I'm not saying don't have a say, but they should have the VR should be there also to assist them in their decisions. And I find that for every game now you find one foul here is not called, another foul is called. And the fan in me will say yes, it is a conspiracy against Casemiro. It just seems like that. The fan in me will do that. We'll say that, right? Because, I mean, I'm sorry, the guy, he didn't choke the man. He didn't. He just did this. He didn't choke him, but he was given a red card, right? Today, he tackled the man. Now, yes, I agree. Yes, it was a yellow card. I agree with that. It was a bad tackle, yes. It wasn't a red card worthy, no. Erickson got took out, no card. Donny got took out, no card. You know? And I'm just saying, where is the consistency? However, the foul with Rashford, I would say that was not a foul. To me, I think Rashford was looking for penalty. He was looking for it. Something I can't be objective. But even the Garnacho, because even if you look at the Garnacho, right? The guy got the ball, but took him out as well. So where is his card? Because if Casemiro took out the guy and the ball, so again, you come back down to the same thing. Casemiro did it in the same exact game. Nothing. Casemiro got a card, the other guy did nothing. And for all we know, Garnacho may be out for what, 2 or 3 weeks? We don't know. So again, it just seems as though it's a thing against us. Now, Arsenal fans will see the same thing. Arsenal fans, Chelsea, but we all fans saying the same thing. We all sing the same song. VAR is broken. You know, so
I am the consumer of football is allowed to express their opinion. You are allowed. You could say what you want, use whatever colorful adjectives. Cool, express yourself. Even during the 90 minutes, a player could come up to me and we could talk, we could reason. If you come up cussing and swearing and hands all over my face and everything, no, you're going to the showers. You're going to get a card and you're going to the showers. So, but we are not going to say that you cannot say anything about it, or you cannot express your opinion on it. So, Ten Hag is right to express his opinion in it. I still disagree with part of his statement in that the referee got involved. Now, is that you don't want referees involved, and if so, what level of involvement you want referees to be at? Now, again, like I said earlier, the referees is just there so that people wouldn't dead and people wouldn't go to jail and to execute new laws to the fullest of their ability. The referee is not there to determine an outcome, because at any juncture at the match, there is still the game to play. After we went down to 10 men, did the game stop? No. Did we have chances to win the game after being down to 10 men? Yes. So that I will always be against a statement where anybody says the referee influenced the game. No. The referee doesn't score any goals. The referee doesn't run offside. The referee doesn't save anything. So we have to, as much as we want to express our frustration with the decisions that happens in games, we have to understand that referees are an integral part of the game, because if we don't show up, your game may play. Now that doesn't mean we should hold the game to ransom. It just means that for the execution of football, it takes all parts to do that. The players, the training staff, the groundsman, the referee, the fans. What I would say to try and close this off is that your one consistency, right? Casemiro got a red card for that tackle and a foul. Garnacho, nothing. It was a corner kick, I believe it ended up playing out to. If I remember correctly, I think it played out to a corner kick.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And it was probably as bad of a tackle as Casemiro. There comes a point in time during the game where the referee has to go into personnel management. Excuse. You have to check the temperature of the game, how players are reacting to calls, how players are playing, if the game is starting to get more physical, if you need to talk to players more, if you need to be more stern in your decision making process, and adjust your refereeing to suit the game. The game cannot be up here and you refereeing down here. The game will get away from you, and that's where the wildness will start, and break foot tackles will come into play and whatever. But if the game is down here and you're refereeing quite up here, referee, like, come on, it's that serious. It could have toned down certain things, that it could allow certain things to play. So the only time the referee has a good game is when nobody says anything about the referee. That's the only time you would know the referee had a real good game.
Unless your name is Pierluigi Collina.
That is the man. That is the man.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's good. He's good. He is the good. You know, he's the good. You know.
Although I kind of don't like the comments he made about our team last week, but anyway, anybody see the comments he made last week about us?
No.
Where he said the ref should not have taken leniency and added less stoppage time in that Liverpool game.
No, no, you have to you're referring to suit the match. You can't see a team being manhandled 5-6-7-0, and you want to add 5 minutes extra. What to play? What to do? What?
No.
To get more goals? Come on.
Again,
But anyway, sorry, that was off topic. But I do want to get into one more topic because we're running out of time right now. So Casemiro's red card now has him out right now because it's his second straight red of the season. He would miss FA Cup versus Fulham and Premier League matches versus Newcastle, Brentford, and Everton. The question now is, should United appeal this red card, potentially on the grounds that there was a decision made in a match this weekend as well, which should have been a straight red but was not called? I'm looking at the Chelsea match. And with the risk now is that if they deem it to be frivolous, he would miss the next match, which is away at Nottingham Forest. So then he would not return until April 22nd against Chelsea, home at Chelsea.
I would say no, don't appeal it, because you're going to appeal it on the same inconsistency grounds. You understand? That could go against you very bad. That could go against you very badly. So I wouldn't appeal it. I would just either grind my teeth and stay quiet and let Casemiro go to anger management class or something and asking like what goes on in your brain for you to be tackling like that? Something had to be something. I don't know, but I wouldn't fight it.
I wouldn't fight it either. But my reasoning different. At the end of the day, we have not been successful in winning appeals. Let's be real. Let's be frank. It's very rare.
We actually did just win one on the women's side, you know.
Well, again, let's leave that on the side there. We're talking about the men's side of football. The FA, at least from what I've seen this season, they haven't been very forthcoming with overturning decisions. I think it's been like 5 or 6, if so much, in all the games that have been played thus far. So we gotta fight it. The run of fixtures, it's bad, but it could be worse. It could be that we play in some top half teams. We actually play in bottom half teams, more or less.
Newcastle.
Well, besides Newcastle, the other 3 fixtures are who? Everton,
Brentford,
So if we're talking, you want the FA Cup or just the Premier League matches?
No, all the games that he would be serving the suspensions for.
Yeah, so because it's a domestic ban, so there's an FA Cup match in there versus Fulham.
All right.
I would have wanted him rested for that anyway. But then you have Newcastle. You have Newcastle on April 2nd. Then you've got Brentford on April 5th, and then you have Everton as well on April 8th.
Well, no, that's two top table teams, and one that's on the relegation fight.
One that is fighting to stay alive. So they're gonna be a very dangerous side coming at us.
Yeah, we gotta fight it. I ain't seen any grounds for them to win anyway. So.
Keep in mind, if they do appeal and they tack on one more match, the next match is against Nottingham Forest.
And
I don't think we need them for that game in any event.
So are you saying then, the grounds of that, you think it's worth? You never know. At least
I know in that. I would say don't fight it, but for the Nottingham Forest game, I think he'd have been arrested for that game. I think he'd have been on the bench for that game, for that Nottingham Forest game. But Like I said, I wouldn't fight it. I have other things. I have real world problems to sort out.
Yeah, and
I have to.
it keeps him fresh
Sorry,
for the Europa tie. So
that's showing you.
yeah,
I have real world problems to sort out.
Well, remember, our next Europa tie is this Thursday anyway, so he was still. I can't remember when the next round of Europa fixtures are after this, but I think we have international break coming up as well too during some time as well.
yeah.
So I mean, it's not really that big a deal for me, like in terms of keeping him rested up. It's just like I think that missing him for that Newcastle match is going to make a big difference. And I can tell you, he was very influential. When I saw him in person at the League Cup final, he was so influential over that match. I think he was man of the match too, if I remember that correctly, in the League Cup final. So I think that will be a big miss. And to me, me personally, I see, you know what? If you're out for a match I thought you're going to be out for anyway, Nottingham Forest, it's worth doing the appeal and just seeing what happens.
Fair enough. But again, it's something that we've said throughout the season since we've come back from the World Cup break. The second string team has to step up. You know, the what I like to call them as the replacement players. They need to take it forward. Because we are at the stage in the season now where you're seeing the fatigue stepping in. So the Freds, the McTominays, they have to now come in and put in a shift. Even Harry. Even Harry had to come in and put in a shift. We at that stage. It's either we want it or we don't want it. And if we want it, we had to fight for it. Nobody going and hand it to us.
Yeah, I think the focus has to be in the league, just finished in top 4. I mean, all those games we could use Casemiro, but if we don't have him, we'll have to rotate accordingly. I mean, the question is who, because it's really just McTominay and Fred. So that's a worrying thing. But I think it's good that he remains fresh for the Europa League tie. But there are 5 more games after this round to play in Europa League and Champions League. So I think those games should be coming up quickly. I think the next game might be the week after this next week. So the last week in March and after the international break. So it's something that we just have to be mindful of. I mean, our players will be more tired on our Sunday games because the Tuesday games there's less time to recover and train and those things. So they'll be fresher for the Tuesday games, but not so fresh for the Sunday games. So we have to bear that in mind as
well. All right, Robert.
Yeah, I think we just have to again adapt. Eric will have to find a next way to make the team work. I mean, he has done it before. We missed Casemiro for 3 games, and he was able to make things work. So he will have to do it again. Unfortunately, I mean, we have more injuries now, so I don't know how he will shift the team around. And then our games keep adding up because we keep going deeper into different competitions. So obviously the games keep adding up, but he will have to figure something out, and the thing is that Scott and Fred will have to step up now, and really show something. I mean, the fact that Harry Maguire came on and did a job for us today, it showed at least he understands. He came on and he did, and his main job was just to come on and kick the ball out, and that's what he did. He came on, he did his job, and and that was that. So I think the next couple of games will be, it'll be a lot more difficult than the first time Casemiro was out.
How long is Sabitzer out for?
That I don't know about, but I was going to bring up 2 other youth that we have in the midfield who are coming up as well too that we could use: Zidane, Iqbal, and Kobe Mainu. This could be a great time for them to step up as well. I would like to see them in that Europa League match. I mean, sorry, the FA Cup match. Give them a run out in that one, see what they do. I want to see them make an appearance somehow, whether they start, come off the bench, get some valuable minutes in there, give some of the other midfielders a break, and then slowly but surely bring them in, depending on the extent of Sabitzer's injury. And so I see potential in Menu especially.
No, look, Menu had that cameo he had in, I think that was the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, one of them. I can't remember which game he came on it. He had a good showing, but Eric is in a place where he wants to win everything. So I can't see him unless there has been a change in the ethos that he's put across in the dressing room, where he's going to bring in the kids at that stage in the FA Cup. That's what, the quarterfinals, right?
I think we're one match out from quarterfinals. I think
Is wrong at 16?
No.
Quarterfinals.
The quarterfinals.
The FA Cup, yeah. Quarterfinals, yeah.
You know, I can't see him bringing in kids at this stage. He's gonna want to try to win. You know?
Yeah, what I mean, I couldn't agree with you, but I think he doesn't have an option because we have between today and to the end of the season, we potentially have 20 games left to play. We have 6 games left in Europa. We have 3 games left in the FA Cup, and we have 12 games left in the league. So you know, it's a lot of fixtures to play between now and the end of May. So he's not gonna have a choice but to rotate the team. So he has to give the kids a chance. I think Minu or Iqbal can play on Thursday with a 3-goal lead, and then if we need to rotate, they play together with Casemiro, so they get that experience playing with him. And you're gonna have to keep Bruno fresh for the weekend. You're gonna have to keep a couple other players fresh for the weekend.
The person who I wanted to get the most rest is Bruno, because Bruno looks lethargic. You know, I think that entire front three needs some time. I think Val could get an extra one because Val needs a goal. He desperately needs another goal. But between Marcus and Anthony, they could get us, you know, start Sancho, start Pellistri. We need to find another person to play that 10 role, because I don't think we have a ready-made replacement for Bruno right now.
No.
Yeah, but Sancho could play in 10 as well. So we do have some options, but
Arun,
You also but why was he playing Weghorst in the 10 as well? I was confused about that.
No, it's a tactic. It's tactical.
it was just to try something different, because he would have thought Southampton was prepping for something else. So you know what? Let's do something different. Put Marcus up top and let him work. But we saw once again, he plays better when he comes in off the left. So it is what it is. But gentlemen, it looks like we're getting to that time right now where we got to get ready to shut it down. So I will.
Devin.
What happened?
You turned me out the bar boy?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the last call.
It could be in the club and he likes come on and the music started dim dong, you know, it's time to leave.
This pool behind me looks real nice right now. So yeah.
Show off now, Devin. Show off now.
So anyway, so I will start with Robert first, and we'll go around the horn right now. So Robert, any last words?
Yeah, we just had a trust in the manager, you know, and then see what happens. Hopefully, the man could make things work, you know. So,
all right, Courtney.
It's gonna be some tough games ahead. I have faith in the squad. I'm waiting to see how we react to Casemiro's red card and the injuries that we have, but we should be fine.
Mr. Ref.
We should be fine. We should be fine. Now more than ever, we really need to start playing team ball and just make better decisions in front of goal.
All right.
Yeah. So I think we've had a good season thus far. United fans, we need to remember last season was our worst season in terms of points total. So this being our comeback season, our focus needs to be remaining in third spot and finishing in top 4. And getting 2 more trophies before the end of the season.
Yeah, so for my parting words right now, it's I trust in Eric Ten Hag, but I think that going for 3 more trophies is just too much. I think realistically we can get one of them. I think the Europa League is a very strong possibility. But I also think we should make sure that we solidify top 4. Top 4 in Europa League, I said beginning of the season, top 4 and a trophy, I think is a successful first season for Ten Hag. We already have the trophy in the bag right now. So top 4, focus on that. As much as I have hated to say this, I've argued that I think we should sacrifice the FA Cup. Or if you're going to play it, focus on the youth, because these matches are starting to take a toll on the players. And so it's a time you're not playing that, you can have that time to rest, to focus on a deep run, get European silverware, and solidify a top 4 spot in that as well too. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much to Darren as well for coming in and clarifying the stance as a ref, especially. Cannot thank you enough for that. It's so nice to be back on the show. I am back stateside after all my travels that I've been doing recently. And gentlemen, yes, we know how it goes right now. We keep that red flag flying high, because Man United will never die.